Hello everyone and welcome to Aidy's Game Log episode 6. Couple of things to get out of the way. Apologies for my voice. For some reason it's not being compliant and it's been a complete arsehole and being rough. I don't know what all that's about. But yeah, that. And I also need to apologise for the arsehole that's out doing gardening at the moment. If you can hear some gardening tool, whatever, power gardening tool, it's actually raining and they're out there doing it. Honestly, I mean, I hope they get struck by lightning, you know, just saying. It's fucking ridiculous. There's the main topic of what I wanted to talk about in this log is audio in video games, licensed music, original music compositions, etc. that appear in video games. Should that be subject to the same kind of copyright strikes if you upload a video or do a live stream on Twitch or upload the video to YouTube or wherever, than if you were just uploading an audio track or an album or a movie soundtrack? Should it be subject to the same thing? Now, before people jump on the bandwagon and say, well, yeah, of course it should, just hear me out for a minute on this, okay? Because I don't believe it should be. Back years ago when I was a kid, the place that I heard music the most was on the radio. And hearing music on the radio would make me want that particular song, or if I heard a few songs, I'd want that particular album. Now, when you used to listen to the music on the radio, even if you recorded it, it was never really great quality. I mean, I know people that used to stick a microphone or recording microphone off their cassette player against the speaker when the radio was on. And some people would then, as technology moved on a little bit, would actually record from the radio using their tape decks. They used to record like the top 40 on a Sunday afternoon, but the quality was always suspect because it was coming through analog radio, so it was never great quality. And you had DJs that would talk over bits of songs and introduce the next song, and no one really cared. You know, no one was shitting the bed about that. That was just the way it was. And people went out and bought albums. They bought singles and stuff like that based on that. That was the number one way that music got spread around. And then, of course, MTV happened. But I'm really going before. I mean, where I come from in the UK, Europe, you know, we were way behind when it comes to MTV. And also that was only available on cable or satellite. It wasn't widely available across the terrestrial television networks. But that was the radio was the number one place for finding out music. Now obviously times change and we have the internet and that kind of thing, YouTube and all of this, and I can appreciate that times have changed. But what I find very bizarre is, let's say you're playing a game, and the reason I'm actually talking about this is because a couple of things. First up, I wanted to stream Wipeout, the Omega Collection for the PlayStation 4. And I don't think I can, because that game is packed to the rafters with licensed music. And if you turn the music off for that game, you lose so much of the experience. It's almost, you might as well just turn the whole volume off completely, because the music is really, perhaps more than any other racing game, the music in that game is really complements the gameplay. And to just take that away, like I say, it's almost like playing it with no audio at all. Now I probably will stream it without the music soundtrack, because that would be the only way I'd get to stream it, then upload it to YouTube without the copyright trolls just basically exploding in a fit of ban, copyright strike, all of this all over it. And the reason why I think this will happen is a couple of days ago I streamed Assassin's Creed 2, the Ezio collection, on the PlayStation 4, and I uploaded that to YouTube after I finished it. And when I went to upload it, in Twitch you just export it to YouTube. It's just a couple of button presses. It's really simple. And it came up with a little warning at the bottom saying certain audio portions of this stream have been muted due to copyright. I was like, okay, what copyright's that? There's definitely no licensed music playing in it. So what is it? And I actually looked, and there was roughly an 6 to 8 minute segment. I can't remember exactly now. Could have been 6 minutes segment of a 2-hour stream, near 2-hour stream, that is muted. And I thought, well, anyone who's played Assassin's Creed knows that the music loops in the background, like it repeats after so many minutes, depending on where you are and what you're doing. So I thought, well, this is petty, and that's why I had in the description box, I had a bit of a rage against Ubisoft, because I thought that's just mindless and petty. Why would you do that? First of all, the music's in the background. Second of all, you've got the game audio on top of that. Then third, you've got my audio on top of that, to the point where actually listening back, you can hardly hear the music. I mean, you can hear it's there, but you can hardly hear it. And you think to yourself, well, what is the reason that people would want to put a copyright strike against something like that? What would be the main reason? And usually it's because they don't want what they believe to be the redistribution of copyrighted content music. Now, I can understand that if you just upload an album in high quality on YouTube, that's fair enough, or a single track, that's fair enough, right? Because it's just the music, that's just the only track. But when it's in the background, and you've got game audio on top of that, and then you've got somebody speaking on top of that, aside from just hearing bits of the music, what other function does that serve? How is that in any way, shape or form going to take sales away? The main reason the only reason that there's copyright is to stop people from making money, right, off copying your thing, or denying you the ability to make money off your copyrighted work. So somebody copies it, can profit from it, or distributes it for free, and then you don't get to make any revenue from it. But so I can understand an entire movie, an entire album, a single, whatever, illegally uploaded to YouTube in its entirety. I can see the problem with that. However, you do notice that YouTube is absolutely awash with uploaded full albums in high quality that aren't from the record companies concerned or the copyright holders of the music. So there's a double standard, I think, that goes on there. Then on top of all of that, you then have to say, well, hang on a minute. The only thing, nobody's going to get any value from copying the audio that I do. If you want to listen to that music without paying for it, there are other avenues with which that can be done. And there are plenty of places where you can hear it for free. I mean, in fact, a lot of singles, a lot of music on YouTube is under this Vivo thing, which you can listen to for free, and that's the legally uploaded music. So you can listen to that for free. So it's like, hang on a minute, if you're going to make a copyright claim, then what exactly are you afraid of? You've already got the music up there yourselves for free for people to listen to. So why would you go after background music in a video game, which is of lower quality, has got game audio on top of it, and then somebody talking on top of that? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. It cannot possibly be denying you any revenue. At worst, people could listen to it and think, I'm not going to buy that rubbish. But then people could listen to it and think, wow, I wonder who that is. Let me find out. Oh, I really like that. Let me buy the MP3 off iTunes or wherever, or let me go and get the album or something. You know, that's happened to me a few times. I've heard music on YouTube and then gone and bought the album. I've gone and ordered the CD because I've really liked it. So it doesn't make sense. And again, it's like the people that make these decisions. It's like this whole copyright thing on YouTube is just insane. And if it's now appearing to be the same on Twitch, and again, it's insane. Because what exactly are you afraid of? People that might listen to a piece of music and like it and go and buy it? I mean, it's little wonder the music industry is on its arse. It's little wonder that the music industry has gone the way it has done. A games industry is all set to follow the same path, because you get these mindless morons who, you know, that you'll have the vast majority of game publishers that don't have a problem with you putting game footage up, and then there'll be just that one, you know, that one that's like, no, we're going to make this stand, we're going to, you know, put our stick in the ground. And it's like, you do understand that it's free promotion, and it's free advertising, and you're essentially shooting yourself in the foot. I've said this before. I've seen game footage for games I would never have bought, you know, just based on the mainstream gaming reviews, that I went and bought and enjoyed because I'd seen somebody playing them on YouTube. And you think to yourself, these people, these executives who know nothing, and they prove that they know nothing time and time again because they constantly get shit wrong and have to apologise for it. You do wonder. You think it's little wonder that there's so many issues confronting the games industry, because it is run by morons. There's no two ways about it. The games industry is run by absolute fucking morons who don't, you know, it's one thing to make mistakes when you're a pioneer, but when you have a roadmap of success and proven success that's already been laid out for you, and you choose to go off, you know, on a magical mystery tour because you somehow think we can make even more money than the tons of money we were making before, and you completely fuck up and start losing money to the point where games literally have to sell 10 million copies for you to make money. I mean, yeah, you're kind of doing it wrong, and perhaps you should fuck off and go into a different industry, because you clearly don't know how to run game publishers. And you see this time and time again. I'm going off kilter here, but that's the thing. It's like, I always think it's like people chase pennies when there's dollars right there in front of them, but they'll chase the penny. They'll go after the penny that is totally insignificant and unimportant. And you think to yourself, why? You know, not only do you piss your consumers off, which is the worst possible thing you can do, is actually piss off your customer base, but you just come across as being a bunch of total dicks. And nobody respects you. The only respect you get, I mean, I was just going to say, actually, the only respect they get is from each other. But they don't even have that. They don't even have the respect of their own peers. And now I've got a fucking lawnmower again outside, a different one this time, in the rain and the wind. What the fuck happened to this world? You know what, that person will probably electrocute themselves and sue the manufacturer of the lawnmower. Fucking idiot. Anyway, yeah, the whole thing is just, it's batshit crazy to me. You know, it really is. And again, it's like when people argue, say, well, it's, you know, it's you didn't create it, it's copyrighted material, blah 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 blah. Right, yeah, so do it right across the board then. You know, people that make these videos and say, oh, well, you know, it's somebody else's work. Right, within your video, you're sat on a couch that somebody else built. You're using a camera that somebody else made. You're wearing a t-shirt that somebody else manufactured. You know, you're sat in an apartment or in a house that somebody else built. No doubt they've got posters of movies or whatever behind them on a wall or something. They've got stuff that somebody else did. So maybe you just need to sit in front of a fucking blank screen, right, that somebody else built. The argument doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, the only issue a copyright should ever have is you denying their ability to earn money off their product. If you're not doing that, there can be no grounds, in my opinion, to make copyright strikes. Because there's a reason that fair use exists. And that fair use exists is so people can do critiques, can do demonstrations, can provide transformative work, so people can get an idea of what something's like. Because I'll tell you what, if everybody just stopped tomorrow, if everyone just turned around and said, fuck it, we're not making any more YouTube videos, right? We're not going to do anything. We're just going to go back to how it was 20 years ago. We're not going to do any of this shit. Fuck you. They'll come running back. These companies will come running back, I will tell you right now. Because they like to play silly buggers. They like to play silly little games. But once people start to ignore them, they will then realise exactly how dependent they were on all of this free promotion and free advertising. And that's what it boils down to. If people just turn their back on that and say, you know what, you can take your shit and stick it up your arse, we're done. You know, stick a fork in it, we're done. If this is the way that you want it, we're just going to ignore you. We're going to ignore your product, and we're going to ignore promoting your product for free, right? Sharing our gaming experiences of it. Because in sharing that experience, you're going to get other people who go, yeah, you know what, I like the look of that. And they're going to buy it. Somebody who doesn't like the look of it and is not going to buy it was probably never going to buy that product in the first place. So you only ever win. That's the bottom line. You only ever win. And they're too stupid enough to realise that. You know, it amazes me because you've got consoles now. You know, streaming game footage is really big. And by and large, most game publishers acknowledge that. You know, that's why they almost encourage it. Because they've woken up. But there's just those people, and it seems to me primarily within the music and movie industries, the dinosaurs. You know, the music industry in of itself, which is just in, from what I can see, is in a flux. I mean, I wasn't a fan of what was it, Napster? I wasn't a fan of Napster. I could see where artists were coming from with that. I thought there was some, you know, having high quality entire albums freely available for people to download and rip to CD, I thought was questionable. But when you're jumping on absolutely everything to claim copyright for music on absolutely everything, you know, even if it's just a snippet of music or background music in a game, you come across as a complete arsehole. And you come across as desperate. And that's the act of desperate people. They want to own everything. They want to monetize every little thing. Oh, you've got a 10-second bit of music in the game, I need to monetize it, or put a copyright strike against your video or whatever so I can monetize it. I mean, hey, fine, I don't make money off my videos. I don't give a red hot shit, but if I'm not making money, you're not fucking making money off it either. So that's why I take them down. You know, if I'm not making money, mind you, they won't make any money anyway, because my videos are lucky to hit 40 views, so they won't even make like a half a penny. But then again, it illustrates too just how petty it is. And, you know, it's just, like I say, they're shaking the sofa down for pennies when the opportunity to make dollars is right in front of them. But you'll never get through to these people. You'll never get through to them. You know, it took the music industry too long to wake up to the internet, and that's why it suffered irrevocable damage. I don't know about the movie industry. I think the movie industry might get away with it because it is doing well. You know, movies are doing fantastically well at the box office, but again, is that just the upper echelon, or is that something that's right across the board? Are movies generally doing well? I don't know. I don't know enough about the movie industry, but I do know that a lot of people within the music industry cry a lot about the fact that they can't make money, or it's difficult to make money out of music these days. And well, you're paying the price for being a dick. That's what happens. And the same's happening with the games industry. They're crying again, you know, oh, it's so hard to make money. Well, stop being a dick. Stop releasing games and leveraging $40, $50 season passes, which means that people can't go buy other games if they want the full experience. Stop leveraging the consumer all the time. This is what you're doing. You're in their wallet. You know, you want to take hundreds and hundreds of pounds and dollars out of the wallet for each individual game with microtransactions, DLC, season passes, and all other associated wank that really shouldn't be there, and then complain why game sales drop. You have, you know, completely unregulated, not regulated, but you have completely unrealistic marketing budgets, which in no way, shape or form reflect reality, and then complain that the game needs to sell twice as many units as it would have done normally in order for it to make a profit. When games do make a profit, it doesn't make enough profit. That's the sign of an industry that is terribly run. And clutching at these idiotic little straws, you know, doing petty things like, let's mute 8 minutes of a stream that had 3 people at the peak watching it, and will probably only get 20 to 30 people if they're lucky watch it on their channel. That is just beyond petty. And to me, it kind of shows an industry that's in a lot of trouble if they're having to be that petty. But I don't know. I just wanted to do this because it's so frustrating. I want to promote Wipeout, the Omega Collection, because it's a fantastic game, and I really want to show it at its best, and I can't show it at its best because I've got to take the bloody music out of it. So I might as well just play the thing, you know, just have silent footage with me talking. Wow, won't that be interesting? Because that's the only way I'm going to do it, and I reckon that'll be the only way I'll be able to do Dirt 4 when I get that. That said, I think that it's not, the music in Dirt 4 isn't as important, but it is in Wipeout. And I think that game companies, or these, when audio is put into a video game, which is something that ultimately is transformative media, which means basically that it's different. It's not the original thing. It's dependent on how it's played. It becomes something different when you stream a game than what it is. It goes from passive to transformative. Passive is like a movie. When you sit and watch a movie, it never changes. When you play a game, it becomes transformed. It transforms it into something else. From a passive experience to a transformative experience. I think things need to change on that front. Otherwise, people will get fed up of it. People will stop. I've seen people already who have just are done with YouTube because of copyright issues, and it's only going to get worse because YouTube is getting worse. Now Twitch seems to be following suit. But anyway, I've probably gone on about 22 minutes too long, but yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. I will put up some Wipeout Omega Collection footage, but it's going to be shite. It's not going to be the whole experience, and I'm reticent to do it really, because I like to try and showcase games as best as I can, because I think it's important. I'm a fan of games. I want people to go and buy them. I want 1 billion people to buy Wipeout the Omega Collection, because I think it's fantastic. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching this, and I'll catch you all later.